Hey everyone, I'm Richard and I welcome you to the second episode of Rayder Talks. I feel much better than yesterday because I had no migraine attack last night. The warm welcome I felt for episode 1 of the series was amazing, and also Max Verstappen won the Formula 1 sprint race in Austin last night. That was cool. To top it all off, though, one of my viewers sent me a picture of him and his cute dog sitting on the couch in their living room, watching my show on the big screen. And I can tell you motivation went sky high after seeing that. So, thank you. Today, I want to dive into something that's really close to me. The connection between programming and making music. Having been in both worlds for decades, I've noticed some pretty interesting overlaps. But there are also some challenges, especially when perfectionism creeps in. So, why does being a programmer often make you a good musician or sound designer? Well, first of all, there are lots of similarities between how our brains handle both. When you're coding, it's all about breaking down things into smaller pieces. Functions, loops, and classes, everything builds on itself, right? Music works the same way. You've got verses, choruses, melodies, and they all come together to create the bigger picture. It's structured, it's logical, and that's where us coders feel right at home. Scientific studies showed that people solving complex math problems, including programmers, use similar neural pathways as those who create music. Breaking down problems into smaller, easier to solve parts is as much an activity programmers as well as music makers are great at. Think of it like this. In programming, you're writing code that's like instructions. One line calls another, just like how in music a verse naturally leads into the chorus. Both are about layering complexity and making sure everything works together smoothly. Being systematic is key in both fields. Whether you're adjusting parameters in a synth or troubleshooting code, you need a lot of precision and control. That's why programmers often get hooked on sound design. It's all about tweaking, refining, and getting things just right. But it's not all logic and structure. Both programming and music need creativity. When you're writing software or building an app, you're solving problems, thinking out of the box. And music production works the same way. Whether it's coming up with a new melody or creating a unique sound, you're using that same creative part of the brain. For me, one of the reasons I love music production is the way it lets me explore new sounds and ideas. It's a lot like coding. There's always something new to try, whether it's a different approach to structuring a track or playing with new synth patches. It's basically endless. Now, here is the tough part: perfectionism. As a coder, you're used to making sure every line of code works perfectly. Mistakes can break the program or even the company using your software, right? So, when that mindset spills over into music, it can cause some serious problems. In coding, perfection is everything. But in music, imperfections are often what make a track special. When you're used to debugging code, it's hard to stop tweaking your music. I've gotten stuck on so many tracks, just endlessly adjusting sounds, trying to make everything perfect. The truth is, in music, you have to let go sometimes. You have to trust your instincts and know when to stop. And honestly, that's a lesson I'm still learning myself. So, how then do you find balance between being precise and staying creative? Here's what helped me. Set limits. Give yourself a time limit for tweaking or sound design. When the time's up, move on. It's like setting a deadline in coding. Sometimes you just have to ship it. Embrace imperfection. Some of the best tracks out there aren't technically perfect, but they do have character. Let your song breathe a little. Small goals. Break projects into smaller pieces. Instead of aiming to finish a whole track, maybe just focus on a loop or a sound for a little while. It's like breaking code into functions. Manageable chunks make it easier to progress. On the other hand, don't get stuck on a small goal, because you have to realize it is the entire song that people will hear, not one specific detail. Collaboration. Sometimes another person's perspective can make all the difference. They might hear something that you missed, or, more importantly perhaps, they will tell you when it's good enough. In the end, coding and music are both incredible outlets for problem solving and creativity. The trick is knowing when to apply logic and when to just let go and have fun with it. If you're a coder and you're into music, don't let perfectionism hold you back. Trust the process and let the art speak for itself. I personally know many IT professionals who also enjoy making sounds and music. Let me know how you feel about this connection between these two worlds that from a distance seem so different. Thank you, and bye-bye.